Hi all, welcome to the channel, welcome to my world, to the world of Wayne. I love days like this. This is new build day and we've got the first pack of Agora Models Build the Terminator T800. Now this is a big box and it's really heavy, but before I get to open that, I'm going to tell you just in the link down here how you can get hold of this yourself. If you go over to the Agora Models website, you'll see the Terminator icon there. Just click on that and you'll be able to order this direct. Now this is worldwide, so regardless of where you are, you'll be able to get this delivered to you and be able to build this along with me. Now it's 12 packs and each pack has 10 stages in it, and in this pack one that we've got here, we're going to be doing the 10 stages right now for you. Agora do have also the Agora Promise, and I'll put their little icon up here, which means as soon as they release a collection, they will see it through for the end. Not like any other companies I'm going to mention that stop their builds or, you know, do test runs or anything like that. You have got the Agora Promise for this. The other thing is the Agora Models customer service is absolutely unsurpassed. You've got live chat on their website, and any issues you get from ordering or anything like that, they'll be able to help you. They'll also be able to help you just calculate any postage costs if your country isn't listed on the website. Now when you do order this, you will be getting the packs of instructions, the build instructions that are in there. Now the build instructions are also over on the Agora Models website. You just click on the Terminator feature, go to downloads, and you'll see all the pack instructions in there. You'll also see that you get a life-size Terminator poster, which will be coming to you. And also in the summer, for Agora Models customers only, you'll be able to order the pulse rifle, and that's worldwide. So they'll be able to post that completely worldwide to Agora customers, so you can complement your build with the pulse rifle. So that'll be coming. That's a watch this space sort of thing. But let's get unboxing and see what we've got in the pack. I'm so excited with this. You probably noticed I haven't actually opened it at all. So what I see is what you see. And I'm going to put this just to one side here so we can have a look at what we got. Now, one of the things that I really like about Agora Models is if they notice something that it doesn't seem quite right with the build, they'll fix it for you and they'll give you all instructions how to do that and provide the necessary tools and equipment for you to make those fixes as well, which is absolutely brilliant. You're not having to deal with that yourself. So thank you so much for that, Agora. That's absolutely brilliant news. Now we have the build guide. This is going to be absolutely brilliant, and I'm probably going to have to do this on my main camera because it folds out and tells you all about the Terminator build, as you can see there, but it opens up into a life-size poster. So you ready for this? Oh my god. It's bigger than me. Check that out. That looks absolutely brilliant. And on the other side, again, you've got details about the build and stuff like that, but I'm going to try, because I'm actually remodeling the man cave at the moment, getting that on the wall. I think that's going to be brilliant. And then the last part, again, this is available as a PDF on the Agora Models website. You've got all about the build, some details about the production of the Terminator, and then we've got all the build instructions. So I can't wait to get cracking on this. Now, this is actually in production and ready for delivery right now. So if you want this for yourself, no matter where you're based in the world, head on over to the Agora Models website. You'll be able to get this for yourself. There had been a little delay because of the obviously coronavirus that's going on in the world at the moment. But the next pack 2s are due to be released shortly. So get on board now, follow the curve while we build this, but you can order this at any time. But I want to build this without further ado. Let's get cracking. Now, I hope you can see this on the side camera here. I've basically laid out all the contents of pack 1, which is absolutely amazing. I don't know where to start. But the first thing we're going to need is this one here, which I'm hiding from you, which has actually got the faceplate in it and the eyes. And that's where we're going to start first. There we go, and I've laid all the parts out. Now this section here, which goes under the nose bridge, is used to control the movement of the eyes. We don't actually need this bit at the moment, so I'm going to put that to one side. So I'm just going to put this all to one side because the first section we're going to need are just these little eyeballs and the irises, I guess they're the irises, to go inside them. It's a pivotal moment because it's the first thing we're going to be doing on the build. So all we've got to do is just push these into the ends like that. Push them down. If you push them hard enough, they're not going to come out, but that will look just like that. We do the same thing to the other side. God, it feels like Frodo Baggins about to go on a journey. I do get excited with this. I've got goosebumps. Once we've got that, we've got some LEDs in here looking just like that, which are going to need to go into these holes here. Now, they should be quite sturdy, but I'd still hold them by the wire like that and then push them directly in to the holes just like that. So pretty much they're going to hold themselves in. We're going to do the same with the other one. Now on the instructions, one of them had the red wire on top and the other one had the black wire. I don't think it makes a difference. So I'm just going to put them in anyway. So this one will go in that way. Hold it at the end and push it tight into that hole. So that it should hold itself in there. Now we're going to take the faceplate, looking just like this. This is what's going to hold the eyes in place. So we've got two eyes here, and as you can see, we've got two pins on the top, one pin on the bottom. We need to put this in, so the two pins on the top here are going into the faceplate this way round with these two lugs. So the two pins here are going to face the two lugs on top there. So once that's in, that's going to look just like that. Now we're going to be doing the same with the other side. That's going to be going in there just like that. And we're going to be holding this in with the nose plate here. Now what I tend to find for this is to actually just put the nose plate in first, gently. Doesn't have to be pushed down or anything, and it goes this way around. It's got a slight bend to it, as you can see. The bend goes towards this faceplate, just like that. And then lift one side up, like this. Put this in the correct way, like that. And then hold that down with one side, and then just do the same on the other side here. And when that's in, it should look like that from that side. And I'm just holding this in the middle here, and look at that from that side. Making sure again that we've got the pins here on this section facing towards these two lugs here. I'm just going to gently lie that down because we need to screw this in with two screws. These are 2.4mm screws. They come in the pack here. So we get them open and screw these in nice and tight into these holes here. So that's the first one. And here's the second one. And once they're in, these eyes should be free to rotate on their own, looking like that from behind. And that's stage one complete. And here we are, this is pack two. Now some of these pieces we don't need straight away, so we can actually just get rid of these three pieces here, which are part of the arm. We're going to be continuing working on the head. And here we've got the top of the jaw here. We've got teeth looking like that, all attached to a sprue, so we will need sprue cutters just to get those off, and we've got some screws. So taking the top jaw section there and the eye section that we just worked on, if you see on the bottom here, we've got two lugs. We've got corresponding holes just on the top there and there. This is just going to be sitting into those holes just like this. Now once that's in, these are going to go into the two holes that you can see at the back. There's actually three holes, but they're going to go onto the one at the top there, the one at the bottom nearer to this top section of the jaw. Now this is going to be held in with 2 times 6mm screws. To identify these screws, they look just like that. They've actually got a flatter head, and they're the longer of the screws that we've got. So put that first one in here. Make sure that's nice and tight. And then we'll put the other one in just on the other side here. And there we go. And now that headpiece is secured in to the top jaw. Then we want to take the shorter screws and attach the top jaw to this headpiece just on these 2 points here. Now these are 2 times 4mm screws. These are the shorter screws in the pack. So I'll get them loaded up, and quite simply these just go in the side here. This is the first one, nice and tight, and then we put the second one in. Just like that. Now that is fully secure in there, that's not going anywhere. Now you're going to need to have your glue handy because we're going to be working on putting the teeth in. And the teeth here are on the sprues, so I'm just going to cut them off the sprues now. Using trusty sprue cutters. They'll give you a nice fine line when you trim them off. That's the first set. Second set. Now these are all the teeth for the top section of the jaw. And there we go. Now I've laid these out exactly like in the picture here, so I know where these go on the teeth. So basically the back ones are going to have the thicker one towards the back end of the jaw and the thinner one just towards the front. Now when they go in, I'm just going to put this in loosely just so you can see how that will fit. It's going to look just like that in there. So we need to drop some glue just into those holes there. Now for that I just use a little drill press just with a pin in the end of it, And all I'm going to do, holding it this way, just dab some glue into the front hole there and the back hole there. I feel like a dentist. So again, making sure that the thicker tooth is towards the back, we'll put that one first in, hold it in place for a second, and with this glue, as you can see, that goes in pretty much straight away. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to work my way around. So the next tooth is going to be this one here. So the bigger tooth's going to be in the middle. I'll put a dry fit just so you can see how that one's going to go. So once again, I'm going to put some glue in, and then I'll work my way, putting all the glue in around here just to get all the teeth in. Next tooth here, this one next to it, making sure they all sit straight, and then the last one at the end here. I'm just going to make sure I've got the right angles. I'm looking at it from the top like that, so it looks like that. And then when you look at the teeth, they're going to look like that from that side. And that's all the teeth in place. So I could put that to one side, and now we're going to be bringing over the sections for the arm sections, which are these two pieces here. And the first thing we're going to do is we're just going to, as you can see, we've got two holes on this side going into the two lugs just on that side there. So put that in place, and that's going to sit perfectly like that. And when it's in, we just want to make sure that that section there is continuous and matches this piece here. We're going to hold that together with 2 x 6mm screws, which I've got here. These are the last ones that we've got in this pack, and they're just going to go in through the bottom there. So 2 of these in. Here's the first one, nice and tight. That one's in. Do the second one. That's that one in, and that is stage 2 completed. Now stage 3 looks just like that. We've got a tester box and we've got some components for the fingers here. So let's get this open. You will notice that we have a bag on the outside of this. Now the components for the fingers here that we put together, we don't use. We use the bag that came with it, and as you can see, these have got the fixing with the plastic sleeves so the actual fingers articulate correctly. So let's get this open. So this is everything we've got in this issue. I don't need this bit, so I'm going to put that to one side because we're just going to need these sections here. Now these are parts for the right arm, including this shaft here. And the way this is going to go is, first off, this top section here is going to fit just in there like that. The shaft is going to fit down there just like that. And then that's all going to be held into place with a 3 x 8mm screw. I've got the screw here, and this is where it's going to come in handy to have a long stemmed screwdriver, because we need to put this, let's make sure it's sitted correctly there, all the way down here to screw into the other end just like this and hold it all into place. And there we go. When that's in, it should be quite secure, shouldn't go anywhere. Now we need to take the tester board here, just open that up. We're going to be putting some batteries into that. Now we actually need 3 AA batteries, and as luck would have it, I have 3 batteries here. So we'll get them loaded up just this way round, so that the flat ends here towards the spring. There we go, just like that. Put the top back on and screw this screw back down. Just like this. And that's the tester box all ready to go. We've got a little control board here. So one end of this tester box goes into the larger section here, making sure we put it in the right way. And now we get to test the eyes. So we can bring over the head section again, making sure that it's in the off position, and we'll connect the first section up. Again, making sure that we put this in the right way and matching where the actual pins go. So here's the first one, just like that. And as I turn it on, as you can see, the first light comes on. We'll unplug this one and just check the second light here. Putting that on. Once again, turn it on, and there's the second light. So we know both the lights are working. So we can put that to one side because now we're going to be working on the fingers. You're going to have the top or the tip of the finger that looks just like that. That's going to be going into this small section that looks just like that. So I'll put that down there. Then we're going to have the smaller section here looking just like that, which is going to go there. Then we're going to have the larger one, which is going to be going underneath. And finally, we're going to have the one here that will connect it to the hand, which is going to go there. So to put them all together, we've got the new finger joints here. Let's get them open. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to affix the tip of the finger to this section here. Now this is actually affixed with glue. So I've got some glue here. Just going to put this all around this section. You don't need too much because these pieces do hold themselves into place pretty well. And then we'll put the fingertip over the top, just like that. The next section we're going to do is we're going to be attaching the smaller section here to this section. And to do that, what we do is we take one of the bigger pins, looking just like that. We put one of the sleeves on, which is very tight, but the tighter the better, just like that. Push it all the way down. So now we've got that looking like that. And then what we do is holding it this way round, we're going to be, this is the fingertip end, we're going to be putting this through the top and then pushing that down as far as we can. Then we're going to be meeting it with the bottom end of this finger here, which is going to go in just like that. And then this is all going to be capped off on the other side with one of these little tiny pins like that on the other side. That's pretty much how it's going to look, but you do need to glue this pin into place here. So I'm going to just drop a tiny bit of glue just down that hole, just like this. Put the pin in and then push everything as hard as you can together, and there we go. And the articulation there now, it's not floppy, it holds itself pretty good. Let's do the next part. We're going to repeat that. So what we're going to do is take this section, put it underneath, and then the part with the sleeve is going to go on this side here into there. So we get that together. That will go through the bottom of this piece here. Push that through. Into the top piece. Like so. And then once again, just drop a little bit of glue into the center hole. You don't want to put any on that plastic sleeve. And then we push this into place. And then push it down as hard as we can. And the whole idea is to keep the finger straight along this edge here, as you can see. Now that's that one in. And then last but not least, we've got one to put on this side. So once again, I'll get the pin ready first this time, I think. Push the sleeve onto the pin, like that. This time they want the sleeve actually going into this section of the pin. So you can push that right down as far as I can get it. So it's that way. Lie this on top, just like that there. And then once again, put some glue in, just to the center point there. Just enough that's going to keep that pin into place. And then we put the last pin in this side here. And then push that together as hard as you can. And there we go. And that's all into place, as you can see. Holds its own, can hold the full weight of the finger. So with that and that's the end of this stage. Quite a few details in stage 4. Look at all of that. So let's get all of these out. We're going to be doing all the components for the upper arm here. So I'll lie these out here. As you can see, loads of pieces here. The first thing we're going to need to do is construct the second cylinder exactly like we did for the last one. So once again, we're going to be having this just going onto the end like that. And then this shaft going down here. And then once again, we're going to be putting the 3x8mm screw just down this end. So I think the simplest way is to do exactly like we did last time, is to load up the screw, put it down this section here, all the way to the end. So it comes out of the end here, just like that, and holding it tight in my hand, I'll offer this to this section, making sure it's rotating round nicely and it's got a good bite on it. Turn this as far as I can till it's actually really secure on there. And then tighten it up from this side. And there we go. It's another shaft complete, nice and sturdy. Now we need an arm rod part, which looks just like that. And on the end here, we've got a little rubber grommet that we're going to be sticking on there. That's just going to go over the top. It has got two sides. You've got a thinner side and a thicker side. It's the thicker side that actually covers that whole section there. We're going to need to keep this in place as well. That's going to be held in place with one of the small 2x4mm screws, which are in the pack here. It's a little silver screw, so I've got that here. We'll just screw that into the end, just like this. And there we go, that's that arm rod part completed. And then that will enable this rod part just to go into this section, just like that there. And as you can see, it's got resistance now, which enables it to actually go in and out with some friction, which means it doesn't just wobble around. We're going to continue that with the other rod section looking just like this. And once again, on the end here, we're just going to put the little grommet, making sure again that the larger section is pointing towards the detail here. So that's going to go over the top. Once again, we're going to put a 2x4mm screw in there. I've got that already ready here. And then that's just going to go in just like that. And this one's just going to go into this piston here. I did notice there's a slight difference between the pistons. So this section goes into the ones that have got a longer width on these. If you look at this one, it's a bit narrower than the top one there. We want to put it in the longer one here. So this is just going to go in here just like that. And once again, we've got the resistance there, so that doesn't actually just fall out on its own. Now we need the assembly that we created in the last stage looking just like this. And then what we want to do is, holding it this way round, we want to put these grommets, again, these are going to make square grommets either side of this section here, just like that. We can put that to one side for a minute, because now we're going to need the last part of this, which is the actual bracket this is all going to mount to. So the detail with the fork is actually going to go over this section just here, a little bit like that there. I'm just going to balance it for a minute. And then the other section here, which has got the hook, is going to go onto the other section just like that there. So to put these in place, we've got these 3x20mm screws. They're the longest screws I think you're probably going to see in this build, but I'll get them out ready. Now this screw is just going to fit through the back here, just like that, for this section here to fit on top of, just like that. This isn't secured down now. We're going to secure that down in a second. The next section here is going to use the smaller 3x16mm screw. So I'll get one of them out, just like this. Once again, this will be going in through the back, just like that, with this sort of sitting like that over the top. Now what I am going to do is, because we're not actually attaching them yet, to stop these popping out, I'm just going to put some blue tack on each side here, just like that. That'll keep the screws in place while I just have this on each of the hooks there. Then we need to put this part here, where we just put the grommets in, just into that square section, just like that. And then all of that's going to be held together with this large section here, which is metal, and that's going to go over the top so that the other side of this grommet here is going to fit in there, and then it's going to enable us to tighten the screws on these 2 points here. So I'll put this over the top like this, making sure it's all connected together. Now before I screw this into place, it's very important to make sure that the end that's got this hammer section on it has also got this detail here facing this side. So we can't have it on this side here, otherwise we won't be able to put a detail in just there. So again, make sure that this section here is facing this side. All we need to do is just now screw these in. And when that's complete, that should look just like that, as I said, with this detail here facing the hammer section just there. And that's that stage complete. So stage 5 has got some components for the jaw and neck, which look just like that. So we'll get these open. I don't think I need to scatter these ones all over the place. I think I might be able to just take these out of the packet like that. As you can see, they all are packaged absolutely brilliantly, so they're not going to get damaged. Now there is a few screws in this section, looking just like that. We're actually first off going to put these two sections here together. As you can see, we've got two corresponding holes, so it's quite easy to see how they're going to go. and the screws are going to go in just this side here. Now these are silver screws, and these are 2 times 6mm screws. They're the only silver screws that come in this stage. So that's now loaded up. I'll put the first screw in there. Nice and tight. There we go. And then one more screw just into the bottom hole just there. Then we're going to start creating the lower jaw section. So we've got this section here, and first thing we're going to need to do is drop this rubber grommet just into the hole there. Quite simple, looking like that. Then we're going to need the section we just made, and that's going to drop just down there and sit in that section there. As you can see, it can rotate round, so it doesn't matter what way round we put this in. Then finally we've got a little cap to put on the top. This is plastic, that's just going to sit on top just like that. And then all of this is going to be held into place with this other plastic cap, which has actually got some screw holes in it. So when we put this over the top, we can actually keep this all in place in 3 sections here, and they're held in with 3 2 times 6mm screws. Now they're the black ones that come in this stage, so I'll put them in now. Here's the first one. Nice and tight. Here's the second one. Nice quick stage this one, because not much to do, but when you've actually got this down completely where it needs to be, here's the third one, in just like that. That will be this stage complete, and it should be so that you've got that looking like that from the top, this coming out the bottom, and there should be enough resistance of that to actually move without flopping around, as you can see. But that's that stage complete. Now stage 6, we're going to be working on the teeth and the lower jaw. So again, this looks like a nice quick section. We've got the nose bridge there, the lower jaw, and then we've got the teeth there. And so the first thing we need to do is cut the teeth from the sprue. Now it's probably best to follow the picture with how these go in. Now I've just done a dry fit just so you can see how they go, but that looks just like that. And it probably helps just to look at the picture for these as well. But I'm going to take them all out, and then once again, now I know where they go, I'm going to glue all of these into place. Make sure they're exactly as you want them to be. You don't want them sticking out too far, and they want to be lying flat. I'm just looking how that looks. That's looking pretty good. And there we go, that's the bottom jaw set of teeth in. So the next section we've just got this little nose section here. That's going to go on the front of the faceplate, just in those 2 holes here. As you can see on the back here, we have got a couple of lugs just on that section there. This is going to be glued into place. It's going to be this way round, so that when it's in, if I just do a dry fit for you, it's going to look just like that. So let's get some glue just into there. 2. Then we can just drop this into here. And that's the nose section on, and with that and the lower jaw, that's that stage complete. Now in the next section we've got the some components for the upper arm, and we've also got the head motor. So let's get this one out, put this all down, lots of little bits in this one. Now the first section we're going to need is this section looking just like that. Now on this side here, we've got a place for these. I always call these ratchets. They've got indents in the other side here, which enables a part next to it actually to turn and lock into place. We need to actually just glue this onto this section just here. Now as you can see, it fits in with 4 lugs, so it should fit perfectly flat in there. So we'll get this out and I'll get this glued in. Now it's best when you apply glue for this section just to put glue in the inside edge of each one of these holes here, because that's where this part is gripping to this detail. So that's 3, and 1 more, 4. We'll get that in just like that. That's that section done. So now we've completed that section, we've got this bit here which has got some lugs on it just there. We need to bring over the arm section that we worked on in the last issue, and as you can see we've got a corresponding shape there with the holes in. Now all we need to do is we're going to be fitting this section just over the top, kind of like that, but we need to glue this in, so we need to apply some glue just here. So I've got me little dabber out and I'm going to drop them in there. Now because the whole section here is going to be supported, it's probably going to be best to drop some glue just around some other points as well. And basically the other points here, if you see how this is actually going to be fitting in pretty much around these ledges here. So just going to make sure we've got plenty of glue around here because we don't want this falling off. Just like that. That should be enough, and then we'll just push this piece in here, hold it into place, and there we go. That's all in. You can see it's not falling out, looking perfect. We can put that to one side because we've got some more upper arm parts now, which are looking just like this, and this section just here. And quite simply, first off, we're going to be putting this section just into the exact same shape as we can see on this upper arm section. So when this goes in, it's just going to look just like that. Now this is going to be held in with 2 screws just down here, and the screws are 2 times 6mm screws. These come in the pack, so I'll get that loaded up, and we put the first one in here. That's the first one going in. Again, make it nice and tight, and the second one just going in this side here. And there we go. So once that's complete, that should look just like that. Now we can put that to one side because the last section we're going to be working on is the head motor joint, which is just these 2 plastic parts here that are black. And what we're going to be doing is holding it this way round, and this is the actual linkage for the motor. This is actually just going to sit on top like that, facing away from me if we've got that this way round. So it's looking like that. We're going to be driving some screws in through the top, and once again we've got the same screws that we just used, which are the 2 times 6mm screws, and they're just going to go in through the top here. So I'll put the first one in just like that, and make sure that's screwed all the way in. And then we put one in the other side. Now there was quite a lot to do in that stage, so I'm just making sure that's tight, not going anywhere. As you can see, that's there. So what we've done the head motor linkage there, we've done another top piece for the arm, and we've also completed this whole section here of the top of the arm. That is that stage complete. So stage 8, we've got the components for the palm, and we're also going to be working on the thumb. So we'll get all of these sections out. As you can see, this time we've got all the proper finger joints and linkages here, all ready to go. And we've got the actual skeleton, it's sort of like this bit of the hand, ready to mount the fingers to. So to start doing the finger, just like last time, we're going to take the fingertip section and we're going to be gluing it to this section looking just like that on the side camera. So I'm just going to put some glue around the inside here. Just like that. That should be ample. And then we'll push this into place. Then it wants me to take all the joint sections and just get them ready with their corresponding sleeves, so we're ready to attach the fingers together. So what we do is we take one of these sections, there's actually 2 of these sections together, they look exactly the same. So I don't know if they are, but I'm looking at them, I can't see any difference at all with them. They look exactly the same distance and everything. And holding that this way round, we're going to drop one of the shorter pins through the top. Just like that. Then we're going to be offering up the first finger joint to that side. And then pushing that into place. And then once again, drop a glue just into the top there. And we can close all of that off with one of these small pins looking just like that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use the other end of my screwdriver here just to apply force to make sure that's tight together. And there we go, that's the first finger section on. The next finger section is going to be going underneath this one here, and we're going to be taking the next shortish one. That's going to be going through this section first, pushing that home, and then making sure it's coming out the other side. I do actually use a screwdriver, push that down at the other side, and it ensures that's all the way in there. And then once again, we're going to be putting this through this side on top, That's going to go in just like this, making sure that's flat and it's completed together like that. And then once again, drop some glue in the top and put another pin in the top here. You don't want to be moving the fingers around while that glue just at the top is setting. Once that's set, then obviously those fingers are going to be in place like the first one there. The last section is just going to go underneath this section here, so you've got a perfectly straight finger. This time we're going to use a longer one of these pins, and it's going to go in through the top here. So once again, push that down. Get my screwdriver over to help me with that. Just putting it on the edge and then just pushing it down, just like that. Then we're going to be putting this section just over the top. So before I put the pin on, I just want to show you what that's going to look like. That side there and that side there. Once I know that's fully into place, I'm going to put another dab of glue just into the end here and put another pin in. Excellent. And as you can see, that holds its own weight. No problems at all with that there. Now it is worth noting for later on that the end of the finger does have a locating pin there, which is going to help us when we put it on the hand. Now this is the hand here, and as you can see, we've got a little locating pin hole just there, so we know where this is actually going to be mounted to the hand. So if I put the locating pin in to that small hole there, just like that, then I know I'm going to be driving a screw through this side to attach the thumb. Now it's a 2x6mm screw that we're going to be putting in. They actually come with this part, so I'm going to line that up again and we'll get that screwed in. Can be a bit fiddly this one is, so I've just tightened it up until I can actually just rotate this round to get that locating pin in the hole. Now it's in, I can tighten it up completely. There we go, and that is the thumb, just bend it down there, attached to the hand like that. Now we need the index finger that we had from stage 3. We're going to be attaching that onto the next one up here. Now this actually goes underneath, and as you can see on this last one here, you've got a little knuckle section just on top. We want to make sure that's facing up. So this is going to be going on just like that. To do that, we take one of the longer pins, push it through the top here. Now this is plastic, so just be very gentle when you're applying force to this, because you don't want this to break off. So I'm just actually pushing the whole part down onto this to make sure that that's in place. Then I'm going to put the finger bit in, again making sure that the knuckle is facing upright, so when this is on, it's going to look like that from this side. And as you can see, that'll enable the finger just to still keep bending there, but not be too loose. But that is the first part of the hand completed with the thumb and the index finger. And that is also the end of this stage. Now stage 9 are the components for the head looking just like this. So we get this open. This is quite a simple part, this one. I'm just going to break open the screws here, because what we're going to be doing is we're going to just be attaching the side cranium to the actual shell of the head there. This is metal, just so you know. As you can see, we've got 2 holes here, which is going to enable these 2 sections here just to fit over the top there. So it's looking like that from that side and that from that side. And then all we're going to do is we're going to secure this in with these 2 screws here, which are 2.4mm screws. So I'll get the first one in here, just like this. Nice and tight. And here's the second one. Just in here, like that. And there you go. That's that stage complete. Now stage 10 has got the inner eye sockets, and we've got another finger to assemble there. So we'll get this one open. All I'm interested in at the moment are just these 2 eye sockets looking like that. Now we just need to bring over the faceplate that we had last time, and we're going to match up where these go. Now as you can see, you've got these 2 lugs either side of the faceplate there that these are going to fit over. Might take some mucking around just to see how they fit in. This is looking absolutely brilliant actually, so I'll put this one on as well, making sure that it is fitting perfectly flat into the faceplate, and that looks pretty good in there. That's how it's looking from that side. That's how it's looking from that side. It might be beneficial though, I'm just going to take them back out, now I know where they go, just to drop some glues just onto those lugs. Looking good. So that's what it looks like from the front, from the top, and from the side. We can put that to one side because now we're going to be working on the next lot of fingers. So I'll get these out. This time we've got a small end. We've got an end that's going to attach it from the hand. We've got a narrow end looking like that, which is going to go next to the smaller end here. And then we've got a larger end just like that. So once again, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to be putting the fingertip on, which means dropping some glue just into the fingertip section here. Do Terminators have fingerprints? That's the question. But we'll get this bit on. And there we go, that's on perfectly. The next section, we take a short pin and we're going to push that through onto the sleeve here, just exactly like we did last time. This is going to go through the top of the fingertip section we just done there. Line it up, get that pushed through, and then we're going to be attaching on the other side just this minimal section here, just with the small gap. That's going to go over the top. Make sure we push that home. So that's lying completely flat to the part underneath. And then once again, drop a glue in there and we put a cap on, just like that. Going to do the same for the next one. This time it's going to be coming up through this detail here. Then we're going to be coming up through this section here, pushing that down into place just like that so it holds, and then once again drop a glue at the top. Then we put another pin in to keep that in place. As you can see, it's holding its own weight at the moment. And then the last one, short pin again. This time it's going to go into the top of this piece of the finger here. So I'll push that in. As you can see, that's all the way in there. And then we're just going to be putting the knuckle part just over the other side here, making sure that's completely together. And last but not least, another dob of glue just in the middle there. And we'll drop a pin in through the top. And there we go, that's another finger completed. And all we have to do is bring over the hand again. Just like last time, this is going to be going underneath with the knuckle section facing upwards. We're going to be putting another pin through. Now I want the longer pin here going through the hand section. I'm going to push that in. And there you go, that's the hand completed there with 2 fingers on it. So we've done that and we've done the faceplate. And that's the end of that stage. And not only is that the end of the stage, that is the end of this pack. So we've done all 10 sections of that. Absolutely brilliant. I haven't got a clue how long this video runs for, but it's enjoyable how much you get in a pack. And at the moment, said you can get this from Agora Models. You'll be able to follow along and do that. If you'd like to do that, I've put the link down here for Agora Models. Go check out their website. You could be doing this with me. I said this is available worldwide now, so you're going to have the chance to build this for yourself. I really do hope you like that video. If you did, please remember to give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed already, please remember to subscribe. Other than that, take care.